And of course, it's time to muck the week, and what a busy one it's been. It kicked off with the annual second day Notting Hill Carnival Carnage horror show. It's no secret that if you're planning to bring the family, don't bring them then. The first day, the Sunday, is widely touted as Family Day. Monday, however, day two, or day two, is a whole different ballgame. And this year, we were treated to the added dimension of the daylight zombies. That's people openly wielding zombie knives, contrary to their name, but in broad daylight. A new development on previous years. I love Carnival, but I don't know about you, but I'm too scared to go. I actually gave up on it the year I almost ended up branded by a boiling hot steel drum of jerk chicken. The usual tally of stabbings, arrests and general lawlessness followed. David Lammy said that there was no greater celebration of Black and Caribbean culture. I beg to differ. I'm with Susan Hall. Notting Hill Carnage is downright dangerous. Somebody tried to claim it's because people are black as to why it's getting the negative attention. No, I think that's why no one dares to comment. But let's say 75 officers down, 8 stabbings, urinating on people's property, hundreds of arrests. Need I go on? Time to move it elsewhere. The war on motorists began on Tuesday, when London Mayor Sadiq Khan's ULEZ scheme across the whole of London began. Despite Mr Khan's office paying $800k for Imperial College to research the impact of its effectiveness, Sadiq took no notice when DeSantis said that ULEZ had little impact on pollution and pressed ahead anyway. Londoners aren't happy and have taken it out on the cameras. A Transport for London spokesperson said criminal damage to ULEZ cameras puts the perpetrators at risk of prosecution and life-changing injuries while simultaneously risking the safety of the public. They went on to say camera vandalism will not stop the ULEZ operating London-wide. All vandalised cameras are replaced as soon as possible. But unofficial data gathered by ULEZ opposition group Julia's ULEZ Map shows almost 1 in 4 cameras are damaged or missing. Although Londoners should take some consolation, at least they're not in Glasgow, where homes are useless as more draconian green zones exist. And with Labour's deputy leader Angela Rayner's promise of more schemes like this across the country, be careful what you vote for. Now, everyone's going on strike. Like the train workers, today we are actually paid pretty well, and were propped up very nicely by the taxpayers during the pandemic, which taught us that we don't actually need trains as much as we thought we did. The junior doctors and consultants who may not start with huge salaries but usually end up on one at the end have a gold-plated pension. And this week they've announced a host of strikes. There's more to this than meets the eye, of course, though, because the strikes many set during the Tory party conference. I mean, it's difficult to argue that this is not politically motivated and an attempt to oust the government at our expense. For God's sake, people, get back to work. Prince Harry, Heart of Invictus, it's dropped, I watched it. At the start, he struggled to actually pinpoint what exactly he does. It was all going so well, but he still couldn't resist a pop at the British press. Listen.
Stepping foot off the plane, I was angry that this has happened to these guys. I was angry that the media weren't covering it.
Which wasn't quite true, by the way, because he was talking about servicemen being injured. The Sun were one of the biggest advocates and supporters of our war vets. But then Prince Harry seems to have a very selective memory. He claimed that he had no help with his mental health from his family.
The biggest struggle for me was the people, no one around me really could help. I didn't have that support structure, that network, or that expert advice to identify what was actually going on with me.
But this interview some years earlier proves otherwise.
You know, for me personally, you know, my brother, you know, bless him, he was a huge support to me and kept saying, you know, this is not right, this is not normal, you need to talk about stuff, it's okay, and all this. And the timing wasn't right.
Well, which one is it, Harry? On the whole, though, Invictus and the Heart of Invictus is what Prince Harry should actually be doing, which was what he was doing before he married Meghan and went on his ingratiating whinge fest of a worldwide privacy tour. If only we could just unsee that bit. It's been a mucky old week.